Well, happy Friday. I know I'm pretty excited. It's coronation tomorrow for King Charles. That's one thing. But our topic is always about women, as all of you know. Postnatal nutrition is something I wanted to tackle today. I have my real friend here today, Rachel Hemraj. She has been with me right from when we started this company. So I am so thankful to her for joining me. And she's going to talk about postnatal nutrition, specifically catering to Indian women. Thank you so much, Rachel, for joining me.
Thanks, Amita. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, we can hear you. You can start. Yeah.
So when we talk about postnatal nutrition, that is the diet or the nutrition that mothers should get after delivery, we must always remember, I would like to say that it is as important as your prenatal nutrition or your antenatal nutrition, because this is the time you're actually feeding your baby. And you need extra nutrients, not only for recovery, not only to meet your own body requirements, but also for the production of milk. But what happens, unfortunately, most of the women after delivery, they fail to take care of their diet because they're already under stress, taking care of their babies. And if there's an elder kid, they have to take care of him also. Then some women go into post-natal depression. And there are so many other things that they tend to ignore their own health and gobble upon whatever food is available to them. So as a result of which, what happens? Their health definitely gets affected, the consequences of which they face in the long run. But along with that, the baby also suffers. The quantity and the quality of the milk produced also gets affected. And it is more of quantity which is affected rather than quality. Why the quality is not affected? The reason is that mothers have this excellent ability to draw upon their own body reserves to meet the baby's requirements. So most of the major nutrients like calcium, phosphorus, protein, they are not much affected in the baby's milk. Yes, definitely some deficiency of water soluble nutrients is there, but the major nutrients are not affected. So mother's diet after delivery is also as important, and it must be taken care of. So what should she eat and how can she plan her meal? This we will discuss in a short while. But before I go into the dietary details, there's another thing which I would like to add is many a time I receive clients who tell me that they are not able to feed their babies because they have insufficient milk production or uh, there's no milk production. So they are not able to feed their babies. But to all the mothers who are having dealing with this kind of issues and are not able to feed their babies, to them, I would like to say, don't get disheartened. The dietary guidelines which we are going to discuss now, if you can follow them well, I can assure you through my clinical experience that even the mothers who once said that they have no milk production, after following these guidelines, within a period of a month or two, they were able to successfully start feeding their babies. Matlab means the top feed was completely withdrawn and the child was completely put on the mother's feed. So there is still hope. You can still feed your babies. The only thing is that you have to work a little towards your diet. And these and these dietary guidelines are for everyone, even the mothers who are able to feed their babies and the ones who are not able to feed their babies. The guidelines remain the same, but the only difference is that the ones who are not able to feed, they have to work a little harder towards their diet. Rest of the guidelines are same for everyone because even as the child is growing, the mother baby's requirement is also growing. So you have to take care of it. So coming to the dietary part, first and the most important thing which I would like to say is that you have to take care of your hydration. That is, you need to take plenty of fluids. Now, fluids does not include tea, coffee, and alcohol. Tea, coffee, and alcohol are better if you can avoid it during the postnatal period, that is by the time you are feeding your babies. But definitely you can have water, you can have soups, you can have juices, you can have broth. The list is unlimited. You can have anything. But the only thing you have to remember is, uh, as far as these juices are concerned, I always advise to have going for a fresh juice because it has more nutritional value compared to the Tetra packs. Tetra packs either contain preservatives or they are loaded with sugar. Same thing goes for soups. Homemade soups are better; they are more nutritious than the soup powders which are available in the market. So keep yourself well hydrated because water is also an important part of milk. Then proteins are also equally important. You must take good amount of protein in your diet. Take sprouts, pulses and legumes. I always advise my clients to have at least twice a day. In two major meals, you must include pulses. Otherwise, you can have egg, which is an excellent source of protein. You can have chicken. You can have fish if you're a non-vegetarian. There are certain grains like amaranth, quinoa, which are rich in protein. You can include those also. Now, other than this thing, hydration and protein, what another thing that you can do is you need to include some amount of milk in your diet. Now, as far as milk is concerned, sometimes I hear from people, they tell me that the more milk the mother drinks, the more milk she is able to produce for her baby. But this is not true. This is only a myth and has no scientific basis behind it. Yes, milk is definitely an important part of postnatal diet, but even if you're having 2 glasses of milk per day, that is sufficient for you. Milk contains good amount of calcium and phosphorus, but overdoing on it is not recommended. You can just have 2 glasses of milk. If you want, you can add some protein powder, but that's completely optional. If you will add, it will only add to the nutritive value. Otherwise, you can have plain milk also if you like. Other than the protein powder, what you can do is you can add some dry fruits to the milk and boil it and have it. That is even better than adding the protein powder. So there are ways you can increase the nutritive value of milk and have it. Other than milk, you can go in for, you must include lots and lots of colored fruits and vegetables in your diet. Now, colored fruits and vegetables are again a good source of vitamins and minerals. Like you can say pumpkin, papaya, they are a very good source of vitamin A. Same way, pomegranates are a good source of iron. Spinach is a good source of iron. So you must include a variety of colored fruits and vegetables in your diet. Make sure that your plate looks as colorful, very colorful. Make it as colorful as possible because that is one of the easiest ways to make sure you are having enough of vitamins and minerals. But again, when I talk about colorful plate, remember you must not stick to a specific kind of vegetables and fruits. I'm again and again saying variety because different vegetables, different fruits have different are rich in different kind of nutrients. Like I said, spinach is rich in iron, papaya, vitamin A. Same way, mushrooms have zinc, which is again important for your child as well as for the mother. So you must include a variety of fruits and vegetables to make the plate colorful. Now, at this point, some of you might be thinking, why iron? Because iron, we usually say milk is not a good source of iron. So we can have iron rich food sometime later. But no. Yes, milk is not a good source of iron. Milk is not a good source of vitamin C and many other nutrients. But as far as the mother's milk is concerned, in specific, I'm talking about mother's milk. As far as the mother's milk is concerned, it contains all the nutrients, including iron, vitamin C, in sufficient amount to meet your baby's requirement. So these are again an essential part of a mother's diet. That is why we say that mother's feed is the best feed for the baby. No other milk substitute, no matter how expensive it is, can meet the benefits a child will get from the mother's feed. So make sure she gets ample amount of vitamin and minerals. She includes ample amount of vitamin and minerals in her diet. Along with this, there are certain foods, things called healthy fat, that is nuts and oil seeds, which contain good amount of healthy fats. Like you can have pumpkin seeds, almonds, pistachios, these walnuts. These again should form a part of her diet. You can either add it to salads or she can just have it in the mid-morning snack. So these healthy fats also help the women in preventing the postpartum depression. And they also help in the cognitive development of the child, that is the mental development of the child. So include some amount of these healthy fats, some nuts and seeds in a daily diet. Along with healthy fats, make sure she takes small and frequent meals. Small frequent meals, you can follow a 5 to 7 meal pattern. You can have in between the main meals, you can have something like soups, you can have 50 grams of paneer, 50 grams of tofu, you can include sprouts. Sprouts is again a good source of vitamin C. So you can include all these things in your diet to make sure neither you nor the baby suffers. Along with hydration, protein, milk, colorful fruits and vegetables, healthy fats, there's something which is known as galactogogues. Now, what are galactogogues? Galactogogues are the foods which help in increasing the production of milk. So these are not supplements, these are the regular kitchen ingredients which are normally present in everyone's kitchen. So you can include it in your diet and they really help in increasing the production of milk. There are things like fenugreek seeds, fennel seeds, carom seeds, dried ginger. Then we have oats, we have dalia. So these things are really helpful in increasing the production of milk. Dalia and oats you can easily include in the breakfast or in the evening snack. So try to have all these things. You have enough of protein, keep yourself hydrated, lots of green leafy vegetables, include some galactogogues, and definitely I can assure you, you will be able to take care of your health as well as your baby's health. And since we are talking about postnatal nutrition, one more thing which I would like to add here, because I have seen many a times I receive inquiries regarding postpartum weight loss. And I always ask them, like, how old is your child? It is still dependent upon your feed. So if the women says the child is below 6 months of age, weight loss diet is never advised. I never give weight loss diets to anyone who is feeding their child and the child is below 6 months of age, because as we just discussed, we cannot cut down on calories during this time because the child is completely dependent upon the mother. And any reduction in calories, any reduction in nutrients will definitely affect the quantity or the quality of milk as well as the mother's health. So when you have waited for 9 months, you can wait for another 6 months. And after that, you can go in for a weight loss diet. But again, that must be done under the supervision of a qualified dietitian, because the child is still dependent upon you on your feed, even though he's taking complementary feed. So there are ways of doing it. It is not a regular weight loss diet. There are ways of doing it. So it has to be done under a qualified dietitian. So even before 6 months of age, when you are approaching somebody and she or he agrees to give you diet, think twice before going in for that. I lose clients because of it many a times, but that doesn't, I have no grudges against it, because I'm justifying my profession. So my job is to give you the right advice, but take care in case you want to go in for a weight loss diet before 6 months, which wait for another 2 months and you can go in for it. And also one more thing, there's a rising trend among the young girls, I would say, these days, that they don't want to feed their babies. Because they find it a tedious process and they have so many excuses. I always call them excuses. But feed your baby. That is one of the best gift you can give to your child for a lifetime. And it will also help you in the postpartum weight loss. Plus, it has many other health benefits for the mother also in the long term. It protects you against many diseases. So, because we were talking about postnatal nutrition, I thought it is better if I include this point.
Right. I think beautifully the way you've described it is very beautiful. Most of the moms are focused on weight loss, like you just pointed out. they don't understand the implication that it can have on their health as well as their baby health, which is so important, and the depression you talked about. So this topic can go on and on. But today's session was just a 10-minute guidelines on all the women out there who suffer from postnatal issues. I should say that. I don't want to call it depression. There's a weight loss. There is so many other things. Nutrition, food is medicine. Take it very, very seriously. Thank you so much, Rachel, for being with me today. Stay tuned, everyone. We're launching programs, so stay tuned and keep supporting us. Thank you.